We applied to the American Rescue Plan funding to help save our language from being lost. We need help to teach our community life lessons that can only be taught through holistic way language and ceremonies for the health and well-being of our community.
We wanted to revitalize our language and be able to document our elders while they're still with us. We really wanted to be able to document the language that we have left.
The ARP funding was given to the American Samoan Community College Samoan Studies Institute. It was a funding that was given to the institute to help out with a project that was created by the SSI called the Elo Oi Laulangana, Your Language Identifies You, so that they can love writing in our Samoan language.
The CNMI PSS submitted an application for funds through these emergency awards to ensure the survival and continuing vitality of Chamorro Carolinian Language Immersion Program at Kangmang Elementary. We respectfully requested assistance to keep this valuable program going so that our native students can learn their heritage language.
So we applied for ARP funding for this project to really focus on conversation, Hoopa language conversations among elders, among mentor teachers, among learner teachers, which I am myself one of those, and then being able to pass those skills on to our students.
I applied for the funding so that we could help build and develop a program that was going to help our citizens of our tribe to reconnect to the language, to the culture, and to help them get a better connection to themselves.
I applied for the ARP funding due to COVID. A lot of our program funding got cut, and I seen this opportunity to apply for a grant.
We applied for ARP funding because preserving the Kituwa language is an initiative of the Chief and Tribal Council. And many of our tribal members have stated that they are losing some of the old words because they don't have many family members left to speak with.
Because of COVID-19 has impacted our people and the state of Arizona across the board, as well as in the language area and our language learners. One death is too many, as of the San Carlos Apache tribe. This is the reason why we have applied for the ARP funding.
Potential loss of our Upper Tanana language was the motivation to apply for grant funding. There's no better time than now, and we could not pass up the opportunity to do something about preserving and perpetuating the language.
Volunteers of the Homa Language Project have archived community knowledge, reconstructed the Muskogean-based Homa language, and designed educational program to connect Homa people to their language culture of South Louisiana. We saw this grant as a great opportunity to partner with our tribal government.
We applied for the ARP, American Rescue Plan, so that we could continue to preserve Patnahil, the Kupeño language. The last fluent speaker, native speaker of the language died in 1987. Her name was Rosinda Nolascus. There are still several people in this community that know words or phrases, but many of those are elders. It is important that we take action now, and that's why we applied for this grant, so that we can continue to preserve the traditional knowledge that is embedded in the language.
The reason why our tribe applied for the ARP funding was because we wanted to continue our language program through the whole entire year, and especially when we had to do some shutdowns, it gave us the opportunity to keep our language going even online. So we really appreciate that funding source.
Main reason we applied for the ARP funding was to get some Ojibwe language preservation projects started. We seen this opportunity to use this funding to assist in any way that we can preserve our language and our culture for educational purposes for the future.
Here at Chugachmit, we had decided to apply for the ARP funding because there was need to be able to recover some of the umpteen number of recordings by elders and elder speakers who were from the community of Port Graham in Lower Cook Inlet.
We need ARP funding to enable us to target two core things this time. Firstly, promote writing in the Samoan language in different genres for each community to align will culminate in launching quality material at the end of the 3-year time frame for this funding. Then we give back to our people through school and community outreaches. ARP funding allows us to take that to the next level.